On this edition of Roots and Reflections, we travel to the Israeli town of Arad, at the edge of the desert where ancient and modern themes contrast dramatically. Ancient Canaanite Arad dates back 5,000 years to the early Bronze Age, whereas modern Arad is one of Israel's newest cities, founded in 1962, 8 kilometers distant from the ancient Tel. The old name was preserved down the centuries by the Bedouin. New Arad is a literal ingathering of Jews from all over the world and includes a Messianic Jewish community. Yoakim Figueres pastors a local congregation. Yoakim, we're here at the old ancient Arad, I understand. What exactly are we about to embark upon here?
Well, right now we're approaching a stronghold that was probably built by the Israeli kings. In fact, this is the ancient town of Arad, which was mainly inhabited in the time of the Canaanites. And there's an interesting story in the Bible, in Numbers 21, when we read that the people of Israel are approaching this area from the Sinai desert, and their first encounter with the people from this land, from the land of Canaan, the promised land, is with the people of Arad. The king of Arad decided to attack the Israelites. So, and he even took captives. There was the first encounter was not a very good one at the beginning, but then the people of Israel said, I thought they could have 3 options: either run away, with like a scared dog with a tail between its legs, or they could attack back with fury, or they could turn to God. So they turned to God, and God allowed them to take those towns, take the town of Arad. They destroyed it, they utterly destroyed it, and they changed its name to Chorma. Chorma that means a holy destruction, completely destroyed, nothing taken for their own benefit. Now the city of Arad, this town of Arad, was the people of Israel, they completely dedicated it to God. They changed the name to Chorma, and in Leviticus we read, it's a holy of holies to God. We cannot claim it. So we cannot, as modern believers, or anyone could say, this is ours. No, this is the Lord. It's a holy of holies. So that's an encouragement for us. But so this is here. This is the place. If we go further on, we'll see that the walls surrounding the Canaanite town. Actually, Arad is one of those Canaanite towns that was not really rebuilt afterwards and repopulated. It was held as a military post by the Israelite kings. So we came to the top of the fortress, the Israelite fortress. The Israelite kings, I think mainly Hezekiah, fortified this area as part of fortification of the kingdom of Judah. And as we are here at the edge of the desert, this is already the beginning of the desert. What we see there behind us, those are the southern hills of Hebron. That's not a desert area. There's much more rainfall over there. So that was like at the edge of the inhabited area. That's where he built this fortress.
The ancient city of Arad is characterized by a standard plan of family dwellings. This architectural style is known as the Arad house, which is basically the one-room house popular in biblical times. This looks like a very typical dwelling place around.
That's right. This is the Aradian house. We have the main room with kind of seats all around. In the middle there used to be a pillar that was part of the thing holding the roof. And here at the side you have a little kitchen where the women, I guess, used to make the daily bread every morning, a little fire outside of the main house. And that's a very simple way of life, but that's the way they lived.
Actually, by today's standards, quite a small kitchen. Where do you put the microwave?
Exactly. So I would imagine the fridge would go over there. No, but yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's like we said, we cannot really see it now, but fortified towns with walls were very crowded inside. So every house was really attached to the other one. and there wasn't much space.
So you have 6 children. What would they have done in those days with 6 children? Did they each have their own bedroom?
I think it would be more something like some of the Bedouin friends that I have, where they have a pile of mattresses during the day. At night, the main room becomes the bedroom. My 6 children, I think they would enjoy themselves for a while, not always.
Do you want to know more about Roots and Reflections? Perhaps find out about our upcoming tours or the humanitarian work of Vision for Israel? Maybe you want to buy one of Barry and Batia's worship CDs, or download a free copy of Batia's recipes featured in the series. Well, the best place for all this is our website, rootsforyou.tv. Here you can do all this and much more. You can also sign up for our free Jerusalem on the Line newsletter that keeps you up to date with all that is happening in the news here in Israel, but from a biblical perspective. So go online today to rootsforyou.tv and start exploring all the fantastic resources we are making available. Online is also a great way to donate to this ministry and ensure that we are able to continue to bring you all the great programs you enjoy. We look forward to meeting you online today.
How is this for a home improvement plan? In one of the Arad houses, we found this team of young renovators doing home repairs on a 5,000-year-old dwelling. I could use these guys for work on my own house.
We're actually doing a year in Israel with a program called Year Course, and we do volunteering everywhere we go. So Arad's a really cool area to do some outdoor volunteering and stuff. We're putting this limestone cement inside and putting the rocks back in to make it more structurally sound and look nicer.
So Ben, is this the way they build in Houston?
No, we we have a bit stronger cement in Houston, and yeah, and older workers hopefully.
I'm just cleaning this area so that I can put cement in there so that years later the rock won't fall back down, hopefully. There's actually, this is 5,000-year-old mortar.
Oh really? So this is a wall that was found as it is, but strengthened by
it's been
by
restored, but the problem is this cement, it takes all the water out of the rocks and it destroys the rocks. Like look, it's falling apart right here. If I pulled it would come right off. So we're not only are we restoring the 5,000-year-old, but also the 50-year-old cement.
Almost next door to the residents undergoing home improvements, we find another Arad house. Only this one has already been fixed up. Now a prime property on the Tel Arad real estate market. We're actually coming into a restored Aradian house, but this looks a bit more luxurious than most.
That's right, it's a bit larger than the others, so we can imagine it was probably belonged to a wealthier person or to a larger family. Maybe, now with the Bedouins around us, 2 wives, a family can have maybe 20 children, so it would be a good enough house for that such kind of family.
So I see a bit of a chipped stone here, and I thought you made reference to the purpose of a pillar or something.
Yeah, in the original house there was a pillar here that would hold the construction, because we need to understand in this area you don't find very long straight trees, so not like this reconstructed beams. So it would be smaller beams with this pillar in the middle holding them. We're just lacking a nice cup of Bedouin coffee or Aradian coffee, so that's the next thing to look for.
Or maybe a double espresso.
Exactly, yeah.
Actually, coffee and tea drinking are more recent Middle Eastern traditions. But cooking? Oh, that's a different story. My wife Batia comes from a Yemenite background, and she's a master in Mideastern culinary traditions, like Israeli vegetable salad.
Yes, my parents are from Yemen, and I know everything about Middle Eastern cooking. Let's start with chopped salad, because that's a very traditional Israeli salad. So we're taking the cucumbers. We have small, thin, nice smell cucumbers, and that's how we're going to start with the Israeli chopped salad. So we got the cucumbers chopped. See how small? Nice tomatoes. So we got this beautiful red tomato, which we are adding to the salad. Next is the pepper. Now we're going to do the onions. Now we do a little bit of this onion. I have a little bit of salt here, a little bit of lemon that I already squeezed in this nice thing. Squeeze the lemon. And olive oil. Olive oil. Really good for you. And that's it. The Israeli chopped vegetable salad is ready. That was quick and that was very good. Barry! Barry, come have some salad, please.
I'd love to.
How is it? Good? Shall I add garlic to it?
Lemony.
Yemeni.
Stay up to date with what's happening in Israel and the Jewish and Arab people with up-to-the-minute information and news from a biblical perspective. Sign up today to the Jerusalem News Network, a wealth of free information, comment and up-to-date news direct from believers living in the land. This includes our regular Jerusalem on the Line email update, now available in multiple languages. To sign up, go to rootsforyou.tv. This is the best way to keep informed of what's going on in Israel.
Batia's delicious food would have been a hit in ancient Arad. She would have had the most popular restaurant in town, a place that stood astride the trade route between Judah, Edom, and the Gulf of Eilat. Like today, in those days, Messianic Jews also lived in the area. It was kind of a spiritual crossroads where Gentiles, Orthodox Jews, and Messianic Jews came face to face. Yoakim, there's a very strong interest in what happened during the Byzantine period, because I understand there were also Messianic Jews, Jews who believed in Yeshua, and this is towards the area of Hebron.
That's right. Modern Israeli scholars claim that over there were a number of settlements, of towns and villages that were inhabited by Jews who believed in Yeshua, Jews who believed in Jesus. They say Jewish Christians. Nowadays we have the name Messianic Jews. So that was over here. You know, now that we have in Arad a small community of believers, both Jews and Gentiles. We are one in Messiah, one in Yeshua. So, but it's encouraging to know that already in those early days of the body of Messiah, there were already in this land whole communities of Jews for whom Yeshua was the center of their lives. Interesting story. We know from documents of the church fathers that there was a martyr called Petrus Avshalom from the town of Enim. Enim is a Jewish Christian village, an ancient village, just over here. Just as we're looking towards that direction, it's exactly there. And he was a Christian martyr, but with the name of Avshalom, and from this town, which is a Jewish town. This makes us understand there was something more about this village.
So then what's fascinating, though, of course, is today there is seeds of a Messianic community in Arad.
That's right.
And I believe that you're one of the people overseeing that. And how historically does everybody sense their roots in all this?
Of course, the Jews amongst us, which are maybe 50 or 70%, why are they here? And why are we here? Both Gentiles and Jews, why are we here in Arad? Why are we here in Israel? We are here because we sensed the urge to come to this land, to come back to this land. Whether we are Jews, as Jews coming back to their lands, whether we are Gentiles like myself, each one of us Gentiles here had some kind of history that drew them to this land. I was born here. My parents were drawn to this land, and that's a different story. But we have this urge that brought us here, especially the Jews amongst us, back to their fatherland. This is the land of Judah. This is the land of Israel. This is where the forefathers started the whole story. If we look that direction, we see over there, that's the town of Beersheba. We cannot see it by our eyes, but the route from Beersheba to Hebron passed just here, just behind you. And it's
a crossroads of history. The Israelite fortress protected the crossroads on the southern approach to Judah. The rectangular square structure was defended by a garrison. The soldiers would have worshipped and sacrificed at the local sanctuary, which was modeled after the temple in Jerusalem on a smaller scale. Could Messianic Jews use this Arad temple today? So I understand actually that you're looking for a place to have the congregation meet, and I'm thinking, why not just come back to these old ruins and start all over again? You have a sanctuary down here.
Yeah, that's true, but we are also a bit fearful not to obey the prophets, because they wanted the sacrifices and everything to be held only in Jerusalem. So so this actually is a replica of the temple of Jerusalem, so they were worshipping the God of Israel over here. Okay, so we have the altar over here. As we proceed, we will enter into the holy of this temple. It's a replica of the Jerusalem temple. I think the sizes are smaller, but here now we enter the holy. This is the holy of this temple.
Right.
Now, as we continue, this would be the Holy of Holies.
Wow.
This place.
Amazing.
It is. This was really something that, at least it was a worship of some kind of a way of worshiping the God of Israel, but really the prophets came really strongly against also worship of God and in sacrificing to God in places that were other than the temple in Jerusalem.
This, the only first temple period Judean sanctuary ever found by archaeologists, was actually an unkosher sacred precinct. Near the entrance to the Holy of Holies stood 2 incense altars, and further back there were 2 matzevot, or standing stones. One was probably dedicated to the God of Israel, and the other to Asherah, a female deity standing next to him. That's not exactly a kosher biblical concept, and reveals pagan influences taken up by the Judeans. Good rulers like Josiah and Hezekiah would have disapproved and probably removed the pillars. It was the Babylonians who finally destroyed this place. Arad is also infamous for an annual music festival. Some famous bands have played here. In Arad, they're known for the Beatles. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's introduce the Beatles of Arad. Can you say something for us?
At Vision for Israel, we don't just minister to your spiritual needs, but we also meet the practical needs of those living in the land of Israel. Whether Jew or Arab, we aim to help. The Joseph Storehouse has been established as a channel of God's mercy through the distribution of food, medical supplies, clothing, and other necessities to those most in need. By giving to the work of the Joseph Storehouse, you enable us to both continue and grow this vital humanitarian work. Would you please give a generous one-time gift today, or become a monthly partner with us so we can meet the needs of more people in the land? Please call the number on the screen now, or go online to roots4u.tv and give generously. Your giving makes a world of difference to those in need.
Arad's location at the edge of the desert has always provided a challenge. How to supply water for its population. Today, it can come from desalination plants on the Mediterranean coast. Back then, the ancients developed a desert water collection system.
Every town or village or city had a main water supply. Is that exactly what we have here?
That's what we have here. It's not a well, it's a water reservoir that would catch the water from all around. It doesn't rain much in the desert, but when it rains, it was very important for the older inhabitants to collect the water and to preserve it all year long, until the next winter. Most of the year is dry, most of the year is like summer. So that was the source of life for this town, yeah.
Water is the source of life. That's clear here in Arad. Yeshua, Jesus said, "But that water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life." Unfortunately, not everybody drank from that fountain, at least not properly, as exemplified by one native son of the Arad area known as the Betrayer. Guess who that was?
We are 12 kilometers north of Arad, in a village ruins known as Krayot. It is here on the edge of the hills of Hebron and the desert that Judas Iscariot referred to in the Bible in the New Testament. Luke chapter 6:16 says Judas, the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who also became a traitor. In other words, the name Judas in Hebrew was Yehuda, Ish, man, Krayot, the village called Krayot. Yehuda, the man from Krayot. He was hanging around here.
This leads to our Roots and Reflections Word of the Week. Watch Roots and Reflections Weekly, learning a new Hebrew word every program. By the end of the series, you'll be fluent in Hebrew. This week, the word is ish, or man. The word for woman is easy once you know ish. She's an isha, woman. You get her by adding a letter hey to the ish. So ish is man and isha is woman.
Arad's a real cute kind of town. Growing, developing, good weather. Coochie, 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 coo. Bah. This is the Kadim restaurant right here in the center of Arad. We need a break. Let's see what they've got to eat. Hey, you know, I think I'll get my favorite, hummus with pitriot and onions. And you know what? Buffalo barbecued chicken wings, Arad style. I'm so hungry. Look at those mushrooms and onions. Wow. Wow. Now for the main course. Buffalo barbecued chicken wings. Look at that with little baby sesame seeds in it. One for me and one for you. Finger licking good.
Interestingly, the Kadim restaurant can be described as a sort of time tunnel.
How is this for a restaurant where you go from eating into a museum of antiquities?
You get good modern food in the front and then walk to the back of the restaurant and you travel back in time thousands of years.
Here we have the fortress. And there in the corner is exactly where we were looking at earlier, the Holy of Holies and the temple that was in Tel Arad.
The original Tel Arad citadel and sanctuary were built in the time of King David and Solomon. Archaeological artifacts discovered around here reveal what life was like in this arid climate thousands of years ago. The earlier Canaanite city was much bigger than the Israelite fortress town.
And this is a model of the Canaanite city from the Bronze Age.
The most important discovery in Arad was probably that made in the 1960s by a Tel Aviv University expedition, which found 100 clay ostraca from the late 7th century BC, the time of the kings of Judah. These are messages penned in ink on broken potsherds. Some of these were written by an army officer named Eliashib, who may have served King Josiah, discussing troop movements in the area facing military threats from the Edomites. One ostracon, Arad number 18, refers to the religious shrine we visited. The house of the Lord is well, it remains. It was written shortly before Nebuchadnezzar's invasion of Judah, which of course ended with the destruction of the big and little temples.
Have you ever wanted to come and experience firsthand the land of Israel, to walk in the footsteps of Jesus, or gain a greater understanding of the Bible? We run regular Roots and Reflections tours to Israel and would be delighted to host you and your family for the opportunity of a lifetime as you come and experience the land of the Bible with us. To receive more information on our tours, register your interest today. Either call the number on the screen, email us at barry@rootsforyou.tv, or go to our website. We look forward to seeing you in Israel.
From Arad, the most direct way back to Jerusalem is through Judea. The road rises into the Hebron Hills. This area is straddled by the Yatir Forest, a feature visible from space.
Ah, yes, the beauty of nature. Here at the Yatir Forest, it says in the book of Joshua, "Thus to the children of Aaron the priest they gave Hebron with its common land, and Yatir with its common land." The Yatir Forest encompasses over 30 square kilometers or 30,000 square dunams. Now, the wonder of this place is there are jujube trees, terebinth trees, olive trees, fruit trees, many types of trees. Over 4 million trees on the southern slopes of the Hebron Hills on the edge of the Negev Desert. These trees are staving off the encroaching desert.